All right, let's talk about something that so many of us know all too well, that nagging, chronic cough, and the gunk that comes with it. Today we're going to break down an incredibly powerful, all-natural remedy that you can make right in your own kitchen.
You know that feeling, right? You wake up and your first sensation is that thick, sticky feeling deep in your chest. You spend the first 10 minutes of your day just trying to cough it up, but it feels like it's glued in there. It's so frustrating, and it just ruins the start of your day.
And for a lot of us, this isn't just a once-in-a-while thing. It's a constant battle. And when you're looking for a solution, it can honestly feel like you're hitting a brick wall.
I mean, you've probably been down this road before. You've tried all the stuff from the pharmacy shelves, maybe even gotten antibiotics from your doctor that, used to work, but now, nothing. It's so easy to just throw your hands up and think, well, I guess this is just my life now. But what if the real problem is something else entirely?
This is where we need to pull back the curtain and see what's really happening inside our lungs, because often it's not just a simple cough. It's something much more serious, a vicious cycle.
So first, let's change how we think about phlegm. It's not just gross mucus. It's actually designed to be your lungs' bodyguard, trapping all the junk you breathe in. But here's the problem. When that bodyguard gets too big and bulky, it stops protecting you and actually turns your lungs into a perfect home for nasty bacteria and fungi to grow. And this right here shows you the trap. It starts with the phlegm getting thick. That allows an infection to start, which then causes inflammation. Your body's response? It tries to cough it out, but that just irritates your lungs, which makes them produce, you guessed it, even more phlegm. You're completely stuck in this loop.
And this is why this is so critical. We're not just talking about an annoying cough anymore. If you let this cycle go on and on, it can cause real permanent damage, things like chronic bronchitis or even COPD. That's chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So breaking this cycle, it's not just a good idea, it's absolutely essential.
So, how in the world do we break it? Well, the answer isn't another chemical from the drugstore. It's by turning to two incredibly simple, yet powerful heroes that are probably already in your pantry.
Okay, hero number one, honey. But listen, this is so important. It has to be raw honey. We are not talking about the stuff in the little plastic bear that's always perfectly clear. That stuff has been heated up, which completely destroys all the good enzymes and germ-fighting properties. Raw honey is the real deal. In fact, if your honey crystallizes over time, that's actually a great sign. That's how you know you have the good stuff.
And our second hero is the purple onion. Why purple? Well, this chart says it all. Purple onions are absolutely loaded with a powerful anti-inflammatory called quercetin. They have way more of it than white onions, which makes them the champion for what we need to do.
So here's the teamwork that makes this so effective. The sulfur in the onion is like a demolition crew. It goes in and starts breaking down the structure of that thick, sticky phlegm. Then the honey does two jobs. It fights germs, and it acts like the perfect delivery truck, carrying all those powerful onion compounds deep into your lungs, right where they need to go.
Okay, so you get the science. You see why this works. Now for the best part, let's actually make this thing. And I promise you, it could not be easier. Seriously, you only need 3 items: a big purple onion, about a cup of that good raw honey, and a glass jar. And please, I cannot stress this enough, it has to be a glass jar, no plastic containers. The compounds in the onion can actually leach chemicals from plastic, and we absolutely do not want that in our remedy. Glass only. It's a non-negotiable. So the process is dead simple. Just slice up your onion, then you're going to layer it in the jar. A layer of onion, a layer of honey, onion, honey, you get it. Make sure the very last layer on top is honey so it completely covers the onions. Seal it up tight, stick it in a dark cupboard for about 8 to 12 hours. And here's the hardest part. Leave it alone. Do not shake it, just let it do its thing.
So what's actually happening in that jar while you're waiting? Well, it's this really cool bit of science called osmosis. The honey is so dense with sugar that it acts like a magnet, and it literally pulls the water and all those amazing medicinal goodies right out of the onion cells. And what you get is this incredible, potent syrup that collects at the bottom. That liquid gold? That is your medicine.
All right, so you've made it. Your syrup is ready. But making it is only half the battle. To get the amazing results we're talking about, you've got to use it the right way. So let's go over the rules for success.
The dosage is really straightforward. You take 1 tablespoon of that syrup every 3 or 4 hours during the day. Just make sure you don't overdo it. Keep it to a maximum of 6 tablespoons in a 24-hour period. Now listen up, because this is probably the most important part for managing your expectations. In the first day or two, you might actually find yourself coughing more.
Do not panic. This is a fantastic sign. It means the remedy is working. It's breaking up all that junk and your body is trying to get it out. Stick with it, because as you move through the week, you're going to feel that stuff thin out, and by the end, your lungs should feel clearer than they have in a long, long time.
Now, I really want this to work for you, so let's talk about the common mistakes that can make it fail. We already covered using the wrong honey and not being patient, but consistency is also huge. You can't just take it once or twice. And here's a pro tip. Try to avoid dairy products while you're doing this. Dairy can actually increase mucus production, which is the exact opposite of what we're trying to do.
And if you want to get fancy, you can supercharge your remedy. If your phlegm is that nasty green or yellow color, you can add a little minced raw garlic to the mix for extra antibacterial power. A few slices of ginger can boost the anti-inflammatory effects. And for a kick of vitamin C, squeeze a little fresh lemon juice onto your spoon right before you take it. Just don't add the lemon juice to the big jar.
Okay, let's get serious for a second. This is, without a doubt, the most important thing you need to hear. This home remedy is amazing for a persistent cough, but it is not a substitute for a doctor. If you have a high fever that won't break, if you see blood in your phlegm, or if you have sharp chest pain when you breathe, these are red flags. Please do not wait. Call a doctor immediately.
But the big takeaway here is really one of hope. For so many people who have been stuck in that cycle for years, the results are just, wow. We're not just talking about stopping a cough. We're talking about breathing deeply again, sleeping through the night, and just feeling a whole lot better.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. Your lungs work tirelessly for you, every second of every day. Isn't it time you gave them a little simple, natural support to help them finally break that cycle and feel clear again?
You know that feeling, right? That annoying, nagging sensation that something is just, well, stuck in your throat. It's something we've all dealt with. Today, we're going to get to the bottom of what that is, and I think you'll be pretty surprised by what we find out.
Right? It's this constant urge to cough or clear things out, but the feeling just hangs around. So frustrating. But what if I told you that phlegm isn't actually the villain we all make it out to be?
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to totally reframe how we look at phlegm. It's more like a misunderstood bodyguard. Then we'll line up the 6 usual suspects that cause too much of it. After that, we'll dive into 4 natural home remedies, and finally, and this is super important, we'll cover the red flags that tell you it's time to see a doctor.
All right, let's start by flipping the script on this whole thing. We've been trained to think of phlegm as this gross, unwelcome guest. But its real job? It's actually kind of heroic.
This visual really nails it, doesn't it? We need to get this villain idea out of our heads. Instead, think of phlegm as your own personal security detail. It's not the problem, it's the protector.
So what is phlegm, anyway? Well, it's basically mucus, and it's this amazing protective lining that's your body's first line of defense. Its job is to trap all the junk we breathe in every day, dust, germs, you name it, before any of that stuff can get down into our lungs. The real problem isn't the phlegm itself. It's when our bodyguard has to go into overdrive, making way too much, or when it gets all thick and sticky. That's when we start to notice it.
Okay, so if phlegm is the bodyguard, what's making it work so hard? Let's play detective and uncover the most common culprits that send your body's defenses into a frenzy.
Yep, there are 6 main suspects we see pop up time and time again. Let's run through the lineup.
So we've got your classic infections, acid reflux, chronic bronchitis, even just super dry air, postnasal drip, and in some rare cases, more serious illnesses. Each one of these things can trigger your body to ramp up phlegm production for different reasons.
Let's look a little closer at the most common ones. First up, infection. When you get a cold, your body makes more phlegm to trap and kick out the germs. And you know when it turns yellow or green? That's actually a good sign. It means your immune system is putting up a fight. Then there's acid reflux, where stomach acid comes up and irritates your throat, so your body creates mucus to protect it. With chronic bronchitis, which is often tied to smoking, your airways are just constantly inflamed and making extra phlegm. Even just dry air from your heater or AC can be a trigger, because your body is trying to add some moisture back in. And finally, good old postnasal drip. That's just extra mucus from your nose deciding to take the back way down your throat.
All right, enough detective work. Now that we know who the suspects might be, let's talk about solutions. Here's a practical toolkit you can use to manage that phlegm right at home.
Here are 4 simple but seriously effective strategies. Number 1, and I cannot say this enough, hydrate. Drinking plenty of water thins the mucus out, which makes it way easier for your body to clear. 2, the classic saltwater gargle.
It's not just an old wives' tale. The salt literally helps pull fluid out of your throat tissues and reduces swelling. 3. Inhale some steam. A hot shower or even just leaning over a bowl of hot water can do wonders. And 4. Drink some specific herbal teas.
And speaking of tea, they're not all the same. Thyme is absolutely fantastic for soothing a cough and a sore throat. Ginger is a real powerhouse. It can actually help slow down mucus production right at the source. And oregano is great for giving your whole immune system a boost. So you can kind of pick your tea based on what you need the most help with.
Okay, home remedies are great, but now we have to talk about something really serious. It is absolutely critical to know when this is more than just a little annoyance and when it's time to get a doctor involved.
These right here are signals you cannot ignore. If that phlegm is just sticking around for weeks and weeks, if you have any chest pain or feel short of breath, or if you're a smoker with a cough that won't quit, it's time to make that call. And this last one, this one is completely non-negotiable.
Please let this one sink in. If you ever see blood in your phlegm, your body is sending you an urgent, flashing red light. Don't wait. Don't WebMD it. See a doctor immediately.
So, to wrap it all up, here's the bottom line. A little bit of phlegm is totally normal. That's just your bodyguard doing its job. But a whole lot of it that just won't go away, or phlegm that comes with any of those red flags we talked about, that's your body sending out an SOS. It's asking for help.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Take a second to really listen to your body. Is it just protecting you, or is it trying to ask for help? Knowing how to tell the difference is everything.